Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you are always in good health and happy. Okay, so before we start discussing today's topic, let me introduce myself. So, my name is Salima Khana Nabila and you can call me Salima or Miss Salima. And I am from 11 Maret University. So today we're going to talk about one of the language features in chapter 3 about fantasy story, which is about adjective clause. Okay, now let's get started. First, to build your knowledge about adjective clause, please scan this QR code and you will be directed to a link about adjective clause, and please try to read it in 2 minutes. So, what do you get from the link, guys? Yes, that's right. It must be about the definition and then formula and word used in adjective clause. Let's go through the language one by one in more detail. So the first one is, what is adjective clause? So an adjective clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb that describe a noun. Noun di sini bisa person, place, or things in a sentence. It acts like an adjective, giving more information about the noun. So, adjective clause tell us more about something or someone in the sentence. So, jadi klausa kata sifat or adjective clause atau biasa dikenal sebagai klausa relatif adalah sekelompok kata yang mengandung subjek dan kata kerja dan berfungsi untuk memberikan informasi tambahan tentang kata benda dalam sebuah kalimat. There are two relative in adjective clause. The first one is relative pronoun and then the second one is relative adverb. So in the relative pronoun, there are conjunction such as who, whom, whose, that, and which. And then in relative adverb, there are conjunction such as when, where, and why. Okay, next, and this is the function of conjunction in relative pronoun. The first one is who used for people as a subject, and then whom used for people as an object. And then whose shows possession, and then that used for people, things, or animal, and which used for things or animal or non-person. Okay, next, the function of conjunction in relative adverb. The first one is when used for time, and then where used for place, and why used for reason. Okay, next, let's talk about a relative pronoun first. The first in a relative pronoun is who. So, the relative pronoun who is used to describe the person who acts as the subject. Jadi, who tadi fungsinya digunakan untuk menjelaskan person, tapi dia sebagai subject. So, for the example, dalam dua kalimat di sini, pada kalimat pertama, in the first sentence is the wizard lives in the forest, and then the second sentence is the wizard casts powerful spells. Become the wizard who casts powerful spells lives in the forest. Jadi dua kalimat di sini digabung menjadi satu kalimat kompleks menggunakan relatif pronoun who untuk menggantikan person dan dia sebagai subject. So the first step we do is to first identify which one have the same subject. Yes, that's right. The one with the same subject is the wizard in sentence number 1 and in sentence number 2. So the wizard in sentence number 2 is reduced and replaced with the relative pronoun who. Became the wizard who casts powerful spells. Jadi who di sini menjelaskan kata sebelumnya yaitu the wizard sebagai personnya yaitu sebagai penyihir, dan who di sini sebagai relative pronounnya, and then the relative clause is who casts powerful spells. Jadi in Indonesia relative pronoun or relative adverb bisa disebut or diartikan sebagai yang. Jadi the wizard, penyihir yang apa? Penyihir yang merapal mantra yang kuat tinggal di hutan. Okay, next is the second one in relative pronoun is whom. So whom was used to explain the person, but as an object. So like the first step, we first identify the person, but as an object. So, jadi di antara dua kalimat di sini, langkah yang pertama kita lakukan adalah mengidentifikasi terlebih dahulu manakah person, tapi dia sebagai objek. Okay, that's right. In the first sentence is a giant, and then the second sentence is the giant. Jadi, so the giant in sentence 2 is reduced and replaced with the relative pronoun whom and placed after a giant. Jadi, jangan lupa relative pronoun or relative adverb selalu diletakkan setelah kata yang akan dijelaskan atau yang dijelaskan. Karena di sini akan menjelaskan a giant atau raksasanya, so the relative pronoun diletakkan setelah a giant. So whom di sini menjelaskan a giant. So menjadi the hero meet a giant whom he later befriended. Jadi pahlawan bertemu dengan raksasa, raksasa yang mana raksasa yang kemudian berteman dengannya. So whom di sini sebagai relative pronoun and relative clause-nya yaitu whom he later befriended. Okay, next is whose. So remember guys, so the relative is always placed after the word you want to explain. Okay, next is whose. So whose shows possession atau kata kepemilikan, like it's, ours, mine, theirs, yours, and so on. So for the example, the dragon guard the treasure. The dragon scales shine like gems. So menjadi the combine dan reduce and then add the replace with the relative pronoun whose. Jadi di sini kita identifikasi terlebih dahulu yang memiliki yang menunjukkan kepemilikan yaitu the dragon scales, sisi naga. Jadi the dragon scales in sentence number 2 kita reduce and then diganti menggunakan relative pronoun whose. So the dragon kita tulis pertama, the dragon whose scales shine like gems guard the treasure. Jadi whose di sini menjelaskan the dragon. So whose di sini sebagai relative pronoun and then relative clause-nya yaitu whose scales shine like gems. Okay, next, which. So which is used for a non-person. So we first identify from these two sentences that show a non-person or noun. So di antara dua kalimat di sini yang menunjukkan non-person atau kata benda yaitu forest. Di kalimat pertama muncul forest, and then in the sentence number 2 the forest. So dua kalimat ini kita combine jadi satu kalimat kompleks menjadi the enhanced forest, which is filled with magical creatures lies beyond the mountains. So which di sini menjelaskan about the forest in sentence number 1. Which menjelaskan tentang hutan. Hutan ajaib, menjelaskan tentang hutan ajaib. Hutan ajaib yang apa? Hutan ajaib yang dipenuhi dengan makhluk-makhluk ajaib terletak di balik pegunungan. So the relative pronoun is which, and then the relative clause is which is filled with magical creatures. Okay, next is about that. So the relative pronoun that is used to describe both person or non-person, so it can be used to describe everything. So for example, the sword lies hidden in a cave, and the sword can defeat any enemy. So these two sentences combine into one sentence complex sentence, become the sword that can defeat any enemy lies hidden in a cave. Jadi di sini akan yang pertama kita identifikasi terlebih dahulu about the sword. So that tadi kan bisa digunakan untuk person or non-person. So kebetulan di sini yang muncul adalah non-person, about benda or noun, the sword, pedang, muncul dua kali. So the sword, ada kalimat pertama kita tulis terlebih dahulu, and then kemudian dilanjutkan dengan relative pronoun that untuk menjelaskan benda, kata benda the sword di sini pedang. Pedang yang apa? Pedang yang dapat mengalahkan musuh manapun tersembunyi di dalam gua. Jadi that di sini yang mengalahkan musuh manapun di sini menjelaskan pedang-pedang yang dapat mengalahkan musuh manapun. So that adalah relative pronoun, and then the relative clause-nya that can defeat any enemy. Okay, next we move to relative adverb. So tadi relative adverb, there are 3 relative adverb. The first one is when, where, and why. So the first one is when. So when was used to explain more detail about time atau waktu. So we first identify what shows time in two sentences here. Yes, that's right. In sentence number 1 is time, and then in sentence number 2 is during that time. Then during that time in sentence number 2 is reduced and replaced with a relative adverb when. So become there was a time when the kingdom was peaceful. Jadi dari dua kalimat di sini, there was a time and then the kingdom was peaceful during the time. Kita combine menjadi satu kalimat kompleks dan kita ganti during that time di sini, kita reduce dan kita ganti dengan relative adverb when. So menjadi there was a time when the kingdom was peaceful. Karena when di sini menggantikan during that time yang menunjukkan waktu. So menjelaskan a time di sini. And then so relative adverbnya adalah when and relative clause-nya when the kingdom was peaceful. Jadi menerangkan waktu. Ada suatu waktu, ada suatu masa. Masa yang apa? Masa ketika kerajaan itu damai. Jadi dia menerangkan waktu ketika kerajaan itu damai. Seperti itu. And then next is about where. Relative adverb where. So where is used to explain more detail about the place. So first we need to identify what shows the place. So that there are in two sentences here, we identify what shows the place. Here arise the word the valley, and then in sentence number 2 the valley. So the valley di sini artinya lembah dan muncul dua kali yang menjelaskan about where atau tempat. So the valley in sentence number 2 is reduced and replaced with relative adverb where. So kalimat ini kita combine. The valley is hidden from human eyes, and then the second sentence is the various things in the valley. Kita combine jadi satu kalimat kompleks menjadi the valley where the various things is hidden from human eyes. So where langkah pertama kita tulis dulu the valley, and then the valley in sentence number 2 kita reduce dan diganti menjadi where. Relative adverb where untuk menjelaskan tempat, and then ditulis clause-nya where the various things, and then dilanjut dengan clause in sentence number 1 is hidden from human eyes. So menjadi the valley where the various things is hidden from human eyes. So where di sini menjelaskan the valley, lembah yang apa? Lembah tempat para penari, lembah tempat para peri menari yang tersembunyi dari pandangan manusia. Jadi where di sini menjelaskan tentang lembah. Okay, next is about and the last one is about relative adverb why. So relative adverb why used to explain or give more details about the reason. So we first identify what shows the reason. So from the following two sentences here, that show a reason. Namely, in the first sentence is the reason, and then the second sentence is that reason. Nobody knows the reason, and then the sorceress disappeared for that reason. So kita identifikasi terlebih dahulu yang menunjukkan alasan, yaitu the reason and that reason. So kita reduce pada sentence number 2, that reason, kita reduce and replace with relative adverb why. So the first one kita tulis dulu, nobody knows the reason. Kita tulis, kita kan akan menjelaskan the reason di sini, and then kita ganti that reason di sini, kita ganti dengan relative adverb why, and then dilanjutkan the sorceress disappeared. Jadi why di sini sebagai relative adverb menjelaskan the reason, and then the relative clause-nya why the sorceress disappeared. Okay, next about the function of adjective clause. So this is the function of adjective clause. The first one is combining sentences. So an adjective clause can help combine two sentences smoothly. The second function is making description more interesting. So in fantasy story or in fantasy writing, adjective clause add deep to description. So di dalam fantasy story itu adjective clause memiliki fungsi untuk membuat deskripsi tersebut menjadi lebih menarik dan menjadi lebih dalam atau menjelaskan lebih dalam terhadap apa yang ingin dijelaskan lebih lanjut. Okay, now it's time for you to practice trying to combine the following two sentences here using the correct relative pronoun or relative adverb. Thank you guys. That's all, or that's the little I can explain. See you in the next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.